Okay, we're back. I'm your host, BKP. Good morning from the office, North Georgia's only live online morning show. And what I was telling you before the break, yesterday, they're doing everything they can. And I understand the Me Too moment, and I understand the, what's the lady, her name sounds like cheese. I know what you're thinking. Let me see here. Let me just go to it. What is the lady that actually is part of starting the Me Too moment? And she ended up having to do her own payout for her own. Let's see, what's her name? Me Too leader paid off young actor. What is this? Asia, what's her last name? Asia Argento, right? Paid off sexual assault accuser. So Asia Argento paid off a sexual assault accuser that she had sex with when he was 17 years old on a movie set. They were on the same movie, working on the same movie. But Argento was one of the first and most vocal accusers of disgraced movie mogul Harvey Weinstein. So I understand all that, but the fact is as a woman, you're supposed to be disgraced. Absolutely, it has to be a disgrace to vote Republican. I want you to listen to this woman because when she's first asked about Donald Trump, she doesn't come out and say, yeah, I just think this is the greatest guy in the whole world. But listen close, it's worth the time, and I think every woman should pay attention to what this lady says right here. She puts it in a box we all need to listen to. Play the tape. Play the tape. Sorry, folks. We're getting it ready. I'll probably get in trouble here, and it's only Monday. We got to be able to get it, or should I move along?
I just created a Wix website for my business. Let me show you how I did it. Let's go to Wix.com. I can add any.
There's a record number of women candidates, but what's on the minds of women voters leading up to November? We talked with 5 women this week, 2 who voted for President Trump and 3 were Clinton voters, although one of them had supported Bernie Sanders. In the same Virginia district in which Jennifer Wexton is hoping to replace Republican Barbara Comstock. We began with President Trump and whether he respects women.
I don't agree with his personal behavior. I find it reprehensible. But I believe deeply that he cares for this country.
I feel that he is more in line with my values and my view of where the country should be headed, in spite of the fact that his personality sometimes leaves too much to be desired.
Have you seen anything positive so far from President Trump?
To be honest, no.
I cannot think of one policy that he has implemented since being in office that has been for women. Can you think of one policy that...
Absolutely.
Tell me, please, share with me.
The tax cut. It meant for me about $150 a week, a paycheck more, and almost $5,000 in bonuses and raise this year. That has helped my company. We're able to hire more people. That, and for women, we have the lowest unemployment in 65 years.
How many of you think that the president truly respects women?
I don't think it's a matter of respect or value. He hires a lot of powerful women in his business.
But do you feel he respects women?
I think he respects the talent of women.
Correct.
You're saying no?
No.
What do you mean by that?
I do not think he respects women. I think that women, for him, they are a means to an end. I'm sitting here and Jackie, I'm baffled. Talking to you has been such a delight. And I feel as if we are in the midst of the Yanni Laurel auditory illusion, where I hear Yanni and you hear Laurel, and I'm amazed.
And I feel the same.
I'm amazed.
You're a businesswoman.
Exactly.
You're benefiting.
So was I.
I feel as if I benefit because of what I have put in.
Absolutely, and that's the difference. That's the key. It's not somebody else created it, you created it.
Correct.
But the environment in which you are in now, there are people today that have jobs that can give you money for your services that couldn't do that 2 years ago.
But that's a different question than does he respect women?
No, but getting back to it, I don't think Donald Trump respects anybody but Donald Trump.
Right.
Does he respect women?
I don't know. None of us do, whether he does or doesn't. We don't know what's in here or in his heart.
Maria?
I don't believe that he respects women at all. And when he chooses to tweet things out himself, and there are recordings of him saying things, you can't say like, oh, well, we don't know, because we do know, because we've heard about out of his own mouth.
Okay, he created the creation of the environment. That woman knocks it out of the park. This lady says, I can't think of one thing, not one thing he has done to benefit women. Not one. She couldn't come up with one thing to benefit women. Unemployment for women is down the lowest in 65 years. Not one thing could she come up with. That was CBS this week, and I'm telling you right now, I told you that is they're going to work as hard as they can to make it an absolute shame. An absolute shame for a woman to vote for a Republican. Now, Stacey Abrams, on the other hand, one of the Democrat governors, and with this and everything they're doing on a daily basis, they are preparing for after Labor Day. All of the media is preparing for after Labor Day, okay? Right after Labor Day, all right? And as you know, they need, I call it the 5% they can't get. 5% of this country they cannot get at most times, goes one way or the other. And I think Democrats are set up this time to try to get that 5% that people don't pay attention to. For example, in Georgia, there are candidates. Now, let's get into a little bit of Georgia politics and go into what we're seeing with them trying to move that 4 or 5% of women over to all of the female candidates that are running. And you notice they set up all these candidates, these women that are running. They put women on the ballot. Okay, there's nothing wrong with that, right? Put women on the ballot. Go after Donald Trump and do everything they can to shame women into don't vote for a Republican, especially if it's a white male, and you vote for a woman on the ballot. You have a choice. Georgia, for example, I'm going to give you, because you, no matter where you're at, you will see this is a perfect example. The 9th Congressional District, okay, is the second highest, I think 30 plus Republican. Republicans in the 30 plus mark. Second highest, parallel to, I think, Kentucky 5, and then I think Texas 11, all right, just off the top of my head. So Texas 11, I think it's 11, but Texas, one district in Texas, is a plus 31 for Republicans. A district in Kentucky is a plus 30. A district in Georgia is a plus 30, tied. But Josh McCall for all, is running in the 9th Congressional District. Now, will Doug Collins win re-election, Congressman Collins, in the 9th Congressional District? Yes. But Josh McCall gives a Democrat a reason to come vote. All right? It's not he will win. He is a reason for Democrats to come out and vote that they normally do not have. The 7th District here, State House 7. Do I think David Ralston will win? Yes, I think David Ralston will win. He beat his primary opponent 75-25 off the top of my head, right? Republican primary opponent. But Rick Day is on the ballot. And although Ralston will win, it definitely gives those 7th House District voters, Democrat voters, a reason to come out. They are pushing a reason to come out because Stacey Abrams will get her Atlanta vote. She will get her Metro Atlanta vote. She will get her Macon vote, her Columbus vote, and her Savannah vote. She will get that vote that the Democrats are always going to get. But the candidates that are on the ballot all the way across the state are a reason for Democrats to come vote, and that's what they're hoping for, is that 5% they can't topple. They can't top the Republicans on. Now, let me say this. New York Times wrote an article, and this was on the 19th, just yesterday. The New York Times, there is more to Stacey Abrams than meets the eye, okay? This is August 19th, yesterday in the New York Times. Stacey Abrams, Republican opponent in the Georgia governor's race, is fond of calling her Stacey Abrams' Republican opponent, which would be Brian Kemp in the Georgia governor's race, is fond of calling her an out-of-touch radical liberal. But when Ms. Abrams was beginning her long run as the minority leader in the State House of Representatives, Republicans who were getting to know her style told a different story. They saw a Democrat with a balanced view on issues. A balanced view on issues. As the Speaker of the House, David Ralston, put it at the time, and an ability to reach across the aisle. Okay? The governor's race in Georgia this year is one of the most closely watched in the country, in large part because of who Miss Abrams is and what she represents. If she wins, she will be the first black female governor in the nation's history. She will have gotten there by running unapologetically as a liberal. Now, why would they say unapologetically as a liberal? Because Brian Kemp calls himself the unapologetic conservative. With an embrace of gun control, gay rights, and access to abortion in today's polarized political climate, liberals have nailed her as a progressive champion, possessing superpowers and black girl magic, while Republicans have issued dire warnings about her extreme agenda. We will look at a little more of this after the break, but don't forget, New York Times on Sunday, Stacey Abrams, there's more to her than meets the eye. You better watch out, Georgia, because they're coming after us.
Ace is your helpful place for paint and home goods, tools, outdoor living, and lawn equipment. But did you know Ace Hardware of Blue Ridge is a little bit more?